What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. I made a lot of money today. I also half-passed a lot of accounts today. Today was a big eval day for me. I'm stacking up for July. Usually towards the end of the month, that's when I'm working on my allocation for the next month. Today, hold on. Nina wants to say hello. Come here. Say hello. She's getting really big. She's getting really big. Look at her. She needs some ice. That's what she needs. Today, I actually took 2 payouts on my Lucid accounts. I have 2 Lucid Pro accounts. They're like fucking stupid, like 25K. I don't know why I bought those, but 2 Lucid 25K payouts today, 1K payouts, and then each of the balances on those are about $4 grand. And then I just recently took all my payouts on Tradeify. I took 12 grand in payouts on Tradeify. I'll figure out a way to post them on here. I half-passed 5 new Tradeify accounts, select accounts. So half-passed, well, a third passed. Half-passed 5 My Fund of Futures accounts. Again, I'll put it on screen. Half-passed 3 alpha accounts. And then during Asia session just now, I passed those alpha accounts and passed 2 of those My Fund of Futures accounts. The Tradeify accounts are going to take me a little bit, but yeah, big day today for me. I think I made about 4 or 5 grand in actual profit. The rest was just passing accounts and whatnot. Then obviously 2K in payouts withdrawn today. So very, very good day for me. In fact, a very good day for my community. Let me see if I can switch my tabs and pull up the Discord. Matter of fact, I'll just pull it up on my phone. I want to give a big shout out to some of these people in here. Low-key some pressure. Shout out Prim. Shout out my boy Prim. Payout. Come on now. This guy Vlad. Look at that. That's an entire green month. Mechanical with it. Fucking mechanical with it. He had this whole like fucking story about he like fucking dropped out. That's this guy. Okay, W and a payout. Little cheeky 2-band payout. W guy. Just a little rich flex for the troop real quick. My boy Michael, 2K payout. He took that shit with me today. My boy Hunter, $1,000. Let me just, let me just. Minky. Y'all see all that green though? Anyways, let's get into how I took today's trade. Really simple trade. There's a lot of ways to get in on this. There's actually earlier entries on this, which I was in on, but I want to show you the easiest part of this trade, probably the simplest part. Nina, hold on. Let me get these away from her before she ruins another trade recap. Hold on. We're going to get every single squishy she owns, and we're going to put them in segregation. No squishies. Go late and do something, but do something else. Hold on. She has a shit ton. I spent at least half a payout on that shit. Get your little ass. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about how I made my money today. Very, very simple. Gotta be kidding me, this fucking dog. All right. So, opening into the session, bullshit. There was some, I think, 9:45 news, so didn't really take any trades till 10. Really not anything I liked. There was a decent long in this range here. Is a decent long you could have taken off that pointer there, off that IFFEG on tap. Totally fine if you wanted to do that. Inverse first fair value gap. If you wanted to take that pointer, totally fine. I believe they were correlated, and then they kind of broke even. So you would have had to do that thing with the. If you remember from the last video, I talked about using standard deviation, volume profile to determine trims. So what you could have done here is you could have taken your pointer off the untapped correlated pointers. There's probably a set of untaps up here given this move. And even though the break even is probably somewhere in here, and the actual pointer, even if I'm just using the one right there that broke even, you could have aligned the volume profile with standard deviation levels on the untapped levels to trim, reduce your profits, break even, then PO3. Obviously cookies. And then they were unaligned at that point. So you're not even going to take those pointers anyways. Everything in here was chop shit, okay? There was an earlier entry on this. You didn't have to take it. If you're the kind of guy that just likes to wait for correlated pointers, just do that. That's what I would recommend for like 99% of people, like 100%. Okay, so when we're looking at this range, what do we see? Well, we see that we have a breakout. Why do we have a breakout? Well, ES, if you go to ES, has a pointer right here. Okay, pointer plus additive trim, if you guys remember from that, essentially when you have white space in the market and there's no FFEG to reject from, you're not going to see any rejection, right? You're not going to stall. So because we have a pointer and because we have an additive trim, we see a move to the downside. You didn't have to take this if you didn't want to. It's fine to take uncorrelated pointers if there's an additive trim there, because then you can do risk management. That's totally fine if you want to do that. Totally fine if you want to do that. I do not care. The best types of trades are going to be the correlated pointers. When did we get that correlation? We got that correlation right here. This 5-minute pointer right here on NQ, remember 5-minute efficient closure, is reacting to a 4-minute FFEG in here. So it's now an IFFEG, right? We drop beneath it on the 4-minute time frame, break in structure, inverse it, and then tap and close as a pointer on the tap. This is the candle that we are entering on. So the question becomes, okay, so now we're in the trade. ES pointer range control, take a look. It's going to be up here, right? I think. This is the most recent pointer range control. Yeah, right here. See how the indicator will show you that? Coming soon to a Discord near you. Here is the pointer range control outlined there, and then we have our alignment that takes place in NQ right there. There's your alignment. The question becomes now, where do I trim? Where do I take profit? What's my size? This is a good tip for you guys. Take notes. Everybody take notes, okay? Very, very important. Always use the candle size, especially with a choppy market, very volatile market too. Always use the candle size to determine your size in a way, right? Because you want to think about pointers being reactions to valid or invalid levels, right? PO3 is pointers reacting to invalid levels, and they reject and finally break out of that consolidation when they align respecting the same value area, right? And then we move towards an area of volume and then again consolidate later on. So the bigger the pointer, the further away you are from the truth factor being, where the most amount of orders are. The pointer is a reaction to those orders. It's the most high level confirmation you can get on an FFEG, the highest level confirmation you can get, the best signal for these entries. That is the MEC model. But the bigger the pointer, the more distance that you create between you and where that big group of orders are. And so if you have a 60-point pointer, you have to ask yourself, can my account handle the drawdown? And oftentimes it can't. If you take a fucking mini with 60 points, what is that? It's not fun. Use the pointer size to determine your size. Does that make sense? Like, that's going to be the most objective way to approach the market. Now, obviously, sometimes it's going to suck, but when we're in a really volatile market, these pointers are going to be fucking huge. When the pointers are huge, the pointer range of control is bigger. And so when we have these deep retracements, in fact, shout out my boy Grayman for the W call. I wonder if I have that shit aligned up here. That'd be fucking hilarious. Shout out Grayman with the W fucking call. He just brilliantly called the fucking bottom with this. Grayman is just a wonderful, just person in our community. Always giving us great signals. Bottom is in, going long. At 103, and then I told the Discord pointer range control. But shout out Grayman, W signals. So what happened here is what we're expecting is that price is going to respect the pointer range control. We're expecting that this pointer range control right here is where price is going to respect and reject from. This is our entry. This is where we expect any amount of retracements to. Hey, I'm filming a trade recap. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to learn. Okay? I'll play with you in a minute. This is our entry. So if you're looking at this pointer, you don't have to go fucking a mini in size. Go half size, a third of your size. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. If you took pointer to pointer on this, it's 180 points. From the pointer untapped to the decoupling, or like when one reacts to a new FFEG like we have right here, then it's 180 points. But we can do a lot more work in here. What did we learn from the last video? We learned we can use standard deviation, untaps, volume profile. The simplest one to see here, guys, where is our break instructor deviation? Well, take a look. Oops, let me turn my magnet on. Most recent higher is high before the break in structure. Break in structure, right? This is one deviation that we can draw. That's one, that's totally fine. You can also draw one right here if you wanted to. That one's fine as well. This is the one I'm going to use in this example because it's the one I use in the live market. This is the deviation where we're projecting price from. You can also just use the pointer range of control. I talked about this in the last video. Find that pointer range control and then just draw it from there. And that was where the ES one was, so this is totally fine. This is where we're projecting reversals from using untaps. So when we're coming into price already, let's outline the FFEGs we're going to trim on, right? I do this every single time. I'm 100% going to trim here. Whoops. Hello? There we go. I'm 100% going to trim here, and I'm 100% going to trim here. These are going to be my two trim points on this trade to the downside. These are my two trim points. These untapped FFGs are going to be my trim points. Limit order here, limit order here. I actually think I used the most narrow one. I think I used the first break instruction. I think it was this guy. Yeah, I used this guy. I used this one. There we go. So limit order here, limit order here. I used both of these. Again, you can use the volume profile on this one as well if you wanted to. In fact, I'll do it just for fun. Throw up the volume profile. Remember, if you don't know my settings for that, just go into the previous video that I have on the channel and go watch that. I don't know why my levels aren't even on here. Oh, I'm on the minis. That's why. Speaking of that, remind me to talk about something from that. Someone had a question. Okay, for whatever reason, it's not working. Okay, I guess we're not getting the volume profile. Not sure why. Whatever. But again, I'm sure you could have aligned them. If do it on your own free time, figure it out. See if there's any low volume nodes in there that you can align. I'm sure there are somewhere in here. So that being said, these are my 2 trim points that I'm gonna have here. I did not go actually light size in this because I have 2 Tradeify accounts. Those are the last 2 I took payouts on. I took my first 2 payouts on Monday, my last 2 today because they were a day behind. So those particular accounts I took max payouts on them, 3K max payouts, which is pretty dope. I'm trying to get a code with them soon, code troop soon. I probably already had like a $4,000 or $3,500 buffer, so I was still going just standard size in this. But in contrast to a bigger size, like sometimes I do 20 or 30 MNQ, I did like 10. So just looking at the size of this pointer, you'd want to go lower size. It's a 60-point pointer. Like, fuck, bro. So this retrace is going to be brutal. We would expect a retrace. It would be totally valid if the market retrace into this validation. It's totally fine. We're respecting and rejecting a level. We create a new set of untaps, but we do not create a pointer. We do not validate that. We get a really, really good delivery off of our pointer range control. Not doing a trim here. No trims yet, okay? We moved literally 50 points. No trims, no nothing. My first trim came here at the first untap set right here. Boom, boom, boom. There's my first trim. Should be the next candle. There it is. There's my first trim at the untap set. And there's my second trim right there at that standard deviation alignment with our untapped FFEG. So at this point, we're still waiting for a pointer to get us out of the trade, and we get a self-made meaning we sweep, we inefficiently create some type of FFEG. I think it was a 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute FFEG, 1 minute IFFEG, 5 minute pointer reacting to those 2. This was my closure on my short here. So in totality, the full trade, the full set of trims, I believe the trim was right here, was 200 points. From the exit, if you just took it to exit, entry to exit, 180 points. Very, very good trade today. There was more you could have done here. There was a lot more actually. There was actually some stuff like longs after this that you could have taken that were valid. You want to wait for the alignment on ES, and then when they align, you can take your longs, and that would have been totally fine. I did not do that. I was done for the day. I went to the gym. Someone had a question. This is a very simple trade, by the way. Alignment of pointer range control. Set your limit orders at the untap alignments with volume profile with your deviations, and there you go. Exit on the pointer. It's that simple. Only thing you got to be worried about is the 1 minute time frame, waiting for those low time frame sweeps, waiting for those pointers to form. You got to be careful. You will take losses if you're not paying attention to the 1 minute IFFEGs and the 1 minute FFEGs. Pay attention to that shit. So I'd remind myself to talk about, someone had a question about why their longs in here weren't valid. I mean, these were fine. These longs were fine. But there was continuation longs. There actually weren't. I think it was just like some type of either data issue on your end, but there's literally no FF. I tried looking. There's no FFEG. There's no low time frame here. There's like a 4 minute pointer, but it's not reacting to anything. There's nothing. So the actual break, if you're talking about like this, I mean, it's not even an IFFEG. There's nothing here it's even reacting to. This 4 minute isn't reacting to anything. I tried looking. There's no sweep. There's no nothing. These are on top set, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. These are our sets right here. So I don't know really what's going on there. And our 2 minute was already tapped. So it's like there's no reaction here. So this was not valid. And then there were some longs in the fucking PM that went crazy, bro. I don't even know what the fuck that was about. I was not here for that. I'm going to be honest. I had no idea. I wish I was. That shit was fucking crazy. I'm sure there was some way to get in on it. But yeah, even if you had taken those longs for whatever reason, there was an entry to go short a little bit after that. So really good day today. Hopefully you guys banked. If you didn't watch the boot camp, it is this simple. I mean, you can't look at something like this and say like what the fuck is this, dude? Come on, lock in. Lock it in. We're making money, bro. Lock in. That being said, sorry I have not been live. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've just been fucking tired. I need to go to the doctor. I've just been fucking tired. I've been trading like 12 hours a day. I've been going 7 to 7 basically every day. I'm trying to run it up. 720S summer. It's still possible. 720S summer. In fact, I don't even want a 720S. I want a 750, whatever the fuck it is, or 570S. It's coming. It's coming. Or I might get a Z06 and then a G-Wagon. I don't really know. But yeah, we're locked in. We're grinding. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content. I'll try to post more. I have a video series coming on the way where I'm going to talk about specific, like it's going to be under 10-minute videos where I'm going to talk about specific how not to blow accounts, how to scale, how to copy trade, all of the questions that you might have on individual topics. There'll be sit-down kind of whiteboard explanations into how to actually take mech and make more money with mech, because I think that's where you separate the strategy and the mentor, because I feel like I've done a really good job of teaching mech, but I could do a better job explaining how we can make more money, making better decisions, what kind of accounts you should take, because that's where there's a little bit of deviation between me and you, because I can't do rapid style accounts. I fucking hate them. My boy Michael took like $10,000 in payouts from rapid accounts. I cannot do that. I'm sorry, it's not for me. But I do like copy rotating between firms. So I'm going to show you different ways, different techniques to scale your trading. Coach Rupert Lucid, we have an account to give away, don't we? Let's pick I guess I just got another alpha update. Pass another account. Let's pick a comment from the last video. If you don't know, in every video I give away a funded account. Comment something, I don't give a fuck, and I might pick you. Let's pick someone from the last video to win a funded account. Please respond by commenting on this video. This is on the last video I made for the bootcamp. There is another bootcamp episode coming very soon. Let's just pick Minky Mink. This guy. This is 3A Gaming 1. 3A Gaming 1. If you're here, claim your funded account. If not, I'm going to give it away to someone in the Discord. Join the Discord. Join the troop. I'll try to go live tomorrow. No promises. We'll see. But yeah, God bless, boys.